Hello and welcome everybody. Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV, getting you some updated footage here on the 202 Surveyor. Very, very popular model. It's a smaller, lighter, very nice fit for a lot of half-ton towing kind of couples camping arrangement. Could be a good solo camper as well. Short length, tandem axle, easy towing, but Goodyear tires with tire pressure monitoring is another nice little towability factor that goes into this one right here. A lot of manufacturers make this layout. They all do something a little different. So what's Surveyor doing? Well, they're a little bit taller inside. They're 6'9" tall. They also have a true queen bed with just fantastic execution of storage around the bed. Maybe one of the best out there right now. You can kind of be the judge of that. The entertainment center in this one, I will admit, is not the best that I've ever seen in this floor plan, but I hope you appreciate that we will show you ups and downs to the RVs that you're looking at here today so that you have a better, more fair understanding of what you're looking at on these things. It's got decent awning space, a good front pass-through. It's carpetless and ventless, so it's very easy cleaning. They also bucked the classic trend of a radius shower in this floor plan, and they came up with a bathroom that I think you're probably going to like a little bit better. But overall, there's like really good kitchen storage and countertop prep space in a smaller RV. So like if you do want to tow small, but you still want to like prep your own food, you don't want to, go to McD's every single night or anything like that, and maybe you're not a campfire cook, this could be a smaller floor plan that works very, very well for you here. Tankless on-demand water heater, holding tank heaters, enclosed heated belly, Asdel in the side, basically Asdel directly below the fiberglass all the way around the RV. A lot of aluminum framing going on and a lot of other really cool things, like now basically 400 watts of pretty much standard solar going on here and inverter prep. So if you like how we tell you the good with the bad, hit that subscribe button, like our video, and let's get in there and see, well, all the good and the bad, basically. That's like telling the time in London and England. I really nailed this one, didn't I? And I've been in floor plans like this about 1,000 million billion times before from different manufacturers, though I thought I'd kind of go about this a little different. I'd actually start at the front and look toward the back instead of the back toward the front. So we're actually looking toward the entry door right now. A little bit different, a little bit uncommon from my normal things. While we're standing here, this is actually a really good angle to get to show you how they're just totally carpetless, even in the slide. I love how the slide floor and the main floor match. That is my nerd preferred way of going about it. The heat ducting is also all like cabinet ducted, side ducted, so no heat vents in the floor, complete effectively like linoleum, or it's not technically linoleum, but whatever, laminate style flooring. And this is a 15,000 BTU air conditioner in this one. Now, this little RV having a, one of the ways that Surveyor helps differentiate things is if the RV has a private bedroom, so like a full-on enclosed bedroom wall, then it's 30 amp service with the capacity of being optioned 50 amps. Since this one's an open bedroom design, it is 30 amp service only. So this floor plan is not second air capable. But speaking of things that you do have available, by default, it has a 2-bench dinette. But we're going to see, and you already had a glimpse, that it has a kitchen dining bar. The good news is that you do have 2 optional sofas here. You can get a theater seat or a hide-a-bed. You're not stuck with like double dining. And personally, this is just my 2 cents, I would go for one of the 2 various sofa options in this, so that, because it's primarily a solo or couples model, and that will always give me the elevated kind of kitchen dining bar over here when I do want to sit down and have a sandwich or something like that. You still have room for a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper if Smokey's chasing the bandit. Does anybody even get the goofy, stupid reference I just laid down right there? I don't know. Good location for that converter box right away, right by the entry door, which does have a full viewing window, although it does like a privacy shade. By the way, I'm going to do a thing I don't do often. I'm going to shut up for a minute. Listen. I'm standing directly below the air conditioner on absolute max crank capacity, high fan. That's as loud as it's going to get in here. So it's one of those things. I don't run like Steven Spielberg level James Cameron audio equipment here because I'm not making a Hollywood blockbuster movie. But I don't use any sort of special noise canceling microphones when I'm inside of RVs. I only do it outside when I absolutely have to. I like you to kind of be able to hear the natural environment of things. If there's creaky, squeaky floors, I want you to know about that. Oh, before I forget, because I have a tendency to forget this on Surveyors, they do have a central vacuum system here, but you see where that little foot sticker is in the black rectangle next to it? That is what I call the electric dustpan. It actually, you know, you can just sweep everything right into it. You don't have to get out the whole pool cleaner hose kit, although the RV does include that stuff. You just don't necessarily have to. So when you first walk into the RV, this is a little bit more of what you would see here. I kind of started you a little bit backwards today, as it were. If you walk in the entry door and you look around, this is what you're going to spot right there. Again, you do have the choice between the standard dinette with the knee knocker post, or a hide-a-bed, or a theater seat. That's a really cool thing with Surveyor, is that they do offer several different seating solutions in a ton of different models. So it's a handy feature they put in. This layout also, the way they accomplish this, benefits from some awesome kitchen prep space. And this floor plan, kitchen prep space, is one of those things that different builders do differently. Some brands, like the big L-shaped counters, some brands will do absolute minimum kitchen space to make the whole room look and feel a little bit bigger. Some do the breakfast bar, some do not. And that is why I like having all these different RVs available within our lineup to help you decide which one works best for you. The light color palette, it really does open things up nicely in here as well, as does the fact this has a 6'9" ceiling. Industry standard ceiling height is 6.5 tall. Some brands will do a barreled ceiling, but they usually are still a 6.5 foot wall. So this is finding like more room all the way through the RV, and where it makes a big difference is when you're actually standing in the shower. That's a true queen bed, by the way. So if you want to replace that backbreaker death wafer mattress with something that isn't going to land you in the chiropractor's office after your camping trip, you can do so rather easily. You don't have to get any sort of specialty RV mattress type stuff or anything like that. This floor plan does lack any sort of bedroom privacy curtain, but it's really more exclusively a solo or couples camper. Yeah, it can have a little guest sleeping capacity, but that's really not what she's made for. You may have noticed the household and USB outlets on the bed sides. What is less obvious is down below that shelf, there's actually another set of them back there. So you have a lot of plugs around this bed, both by your head and by your feet. So if you want to get a little heat pad to lay across your feet at night, and you know, some people get icy cold toes in the evening hours, that's something you could definitely do here. Or just phone chargers around the bed, any sort of thing like that. I tell you what, let's start cracking open storage here. Oops, I'm sorry, I got the camera hung up on the that big high-rise sprayer faucet. One of the things that's really cool here is they're giving us good dresser drawer storage on both sides of the bed, and notice how the overhead cabinets actually hold themselves open. But when we lift that bed, first of all, it's very easy because they gave us a gas strut kind of system. But there's more dresser drawers down there. This thing is loaded with socks and underwear space, basically, guys. Now, if you're the type of person that needs hanging storage, you got the 2 hanging wardrobes, but if you tend to like roll up, fold up your clothes, you can really pack heavy in this sucker, which is really nice if you want to just have like dedicated, here's the clothes that stay in the camper versus here's the clothes that come with me. It makes it easy to do that. I will tell you, if I was going to stick with the dinette, which I've already told you I wouldn't, but if I was, I'd probably swap out those pedestal legs for a set of free-floating folding legs. And I don't mean like the elliptical base kind, because those are still knee knockers, frankly. I'd go with just like those simple folding legs that you can get. It's like $40, $50 off Amazon, shipped to your house, you know, in 2 days, prime delivery. That's what I'd go with. The window coverage over here is great. The big panoramic window on the big window, basically, that's viewing only, doesn't open for airflow, but our slide side windows, those do open for airflow. And I love the fact that they just went with a straight white accent light. But if you don't want that thing on, if it bugs you for some reason, you can always turn that off separately from everything else in the RV. If you don't care for the dining bar chairs, they're included with the camper. You could always just get rid of them, though. Actually, now that I think about that, that could be a decent space for like a dog kennel or something like that. There's a lot of people that also ask me, you know, where could you put a cat litter box? Because I don't think people realize how many cat campers are out there, but they're out there, ladies and gentlemen. They are out there right about now. Let me take a knee real quick. Okay, so we do have power outlets under the overhead cabinets, but because of the dining bar, they were also able to put some outlets like I think at a more ideal location down there myself. Now, keep an eye on that like wooden cutting board sink cover as we crack open all of our kitchen cabinetry, because you're about to see that thing move around. The upper cabinets being extra tall allows for really good storage space in there. And it sounds funny, but I sort of wish they had not put a shelf below the sink so that I would have had a dedicated wastebasket space. But beside the kitchen counter, between the kitchen counter and the entry door, there's kind of an open pocket of space right there that would be perfect for having a wastebasket. And having a wastebasket right there, right next to the entry door, it's actually really kind of handy, really sort of useful. Actually, while I'm standing here, what I'm talking about is just over here to the left, basically where that fire extinguisher is located, that open blank pocket right there, that would be a really, really good spot for a wastebasket. Although I'm looking at this, I'm curious. Anybody who owns one of these, can you tell me, like that blank panel right there, what's back there? Because I wonder if that couldn't be opened up and used at least like a small flip-flop shop, shoe garage kind of thing. I do like that they give you a place to hang like a couple coats or jackets or dog leashes or whatever you need over here. And ladies and gentlemen, based on your feedback, they have upgraded the bathroom fan. We now have a standard XL bath fan as compared to the 4-inch, dollar store variety. And they have done that across the board. The entire Surveyor series now has that. Now this bathroom, because they went with some decent storage space, it made it a little tight around the toilet. The little toilet paper rod holder thing right there, it's kind of at like funny bone bonker position. So that's something to maybe kind of keep in mind here. Decent counter space though for a smaller bathroom, and an interesting thing they do in their medicine cabinets. The medicine cabinet's actually smaller than the mirror because they have like toothbrush holder built right into this here. So your toothbrushes kind of stick down and hang down a little bit, but at least you got a place here to store the Lipitor, and it can get the job done. And because the RV's 6'9" from floor to ceiling, means if you're a little over 6 foot like me, you do not need to put your head in the skylight to be able to see around this thing. Now, I hope you appreciate how I try to share good with bad. Something that they didn't do on a bunch of other floor plans, but they've still maintained here, is the control panel is up very, very high. I would have liked it had they kind of slid that down a little bit, because like I could reach that, but that might be a little tall for my wife. You know, she doesn't like me to say I'm a foot taller than her, so I'm 11.9 inches taller than my wife. So it's just kind of the things that I look at, because half the time she takes me to the grocery store just so I can reach the stuff off the top shelf. Now, the hiccup with this big, deep rack and pinion slide and having that L-shaped kitchen counter, giving us more counter space when we get there, is that it makes travel access a little tricky. Technically, they don't kiss quite up to one another, but you would have to technically toe tap on the slide to get around or climb over the countertop, and that is not ideal. However, if you are just trying to get in the RV real quick to pack the thing up, one of the cool benefits of a rack and pinion slide is that you can crack them partially and not screw them up. So if you need to get up there just to get to the bed to pack stuff, you can, but you don't want to leave the slide like that, and you really don't want to do that on a rainy day because the slides aren't fully sealed when they are partially open or closed. The other thing is, since the bedroom and bathroom are all right over here, right by the entry door, travel access, snack-tastic, crap-tastic access, that is easily accomplished. This RV also really benefits from having some excellent towability factors. Like if you take another look at the weights and measures here, the total length of this and the total gross vehicle weight fit very nicely, very comfortably within a lot of late model tow package half-ton capability. The other thing here is, did you note this RV actually has a really solid cargo carry capacity? There are so many RV manufacturers out there nowadays that have absolute bare minimum cargo capacity. Having a little bit more than that where you can actually put stuff in this is really, really handy. Now, power tongue jack, power awning, manual corner stabilizers, but you get yourself a power drill and a hex nut adapter, and you got a cordless jack system. Up here we got a battery disconnect, and that yellow antenna thing is actually a relay for the tire pressure monitoring that goes along with the Goodyear tires. So that can give you some, along with being short and tandem axles, give you some more peace of mind while you're zipping it down the road. That is also a rack and pinion slide out, which I know a lot of people prefer for a number of reasons. She is prepped and ready for slide awnings if you are so inclined. Working our way over here, we do have ourselves that tankless on-demand water heater. It does technically occupy a little space in the front pass-through, but I think as you look through this, you realize it had a little bit of space to spare. And you may notice how they're even aluminum framing under their bed. Sometimes when you hear someone say, or even in my videos, I'll say, you know, this is an all aluminum framed RV. That's referring to the actual skeletal structure of the RV, not necessarily furniture. You know, a bed base is not a structural kind of component, but some manufacturers will still aluminum frame that, even though it adds a little bit of cost. It helps keep the weight down in check. Again, nice, easy towing length on this thing, and with tandem axles, something that stays very, you know, steady behind you. Respectable awning space on this as well. They basically put the biggest awning on it they could. You look at it and say, well, couldn't they have gone a little bit further to that rear wall? Awnings are funny. Suppliers make awnings only in specific sizes. So they really couldn't have made it any bigger. You know what? I did this on my last Surveyor video that I recorded. I have no idea what order these come out. And I said I wasn't going to do the same thing. And I did. Hold on. I failed to finish setting up the little mini camp kitchenette here. Now this sometimes gets a little bit of flack from people in the comment section, so I do want to explain this a little bit. What a lot of manufacturers will do is they'll give us the college kid dorm fridge, dad's medicine cabinet here for the bottled water and the barley pop, and then directly in front of it they put the griddle. And it's very small, it's very space effective within the RV, but if you want to get anything out of that fridge, a lot of times you can't do it while you're cooking. Well, this design means that you don't have that potential burn my arms deficiency. And if you really don't care about the whole griddle, it is standard included with the RV, but you can just not use it and have yourself a galvanized rolled steel kind of drink station if you're so inclined. But by getting the griddle off to the side on that little basically drawer, they created an extra space here. So they gave it a little sink insert. Now it's not a plumb sink that goes into a holding tank, so a lot of people don't like that, and I understand that. But it exists as a bonus to get the griddle out of the way while you're cooking, so you can still get to the fridge. So, you know, I guess maybe they've created a problem that didn't exist, but I will, while I do prefer a plumb sink, certainly I'll take this over burning my arms every time I want to get a Coors Light, you know, or whatever you drink, I don't know. I've got, so my mom's side of the family, they were Kentucky Ridge Runners, and my dad's side of the family historically were Tennessee Horse Thieves. And this goatee that I grow is not an accident. I've got me some legit traceable redneck DNA. And I never did develop a taste for the finer things like Scotch whiskey or something like that. I am a cheap drinker. And I'm also cheap to drink with. I'm about a 2-drink drunk. You give me about 2 beers and I'm practically 2 sheets to the wind. I'm a cheap date. It worked out pretty well when I was dating my wife because, you know, I couldn't drink a lot. So it ended up saving me some money because, you know, I always bought her lunch. Anyway, walkable roof, telescopic removable ladder prep. Down here below, we're actually at a good angle to get to see that cargo carrier, the 2-inch receiver hitch sticking off the back. Not technically a cargo carrier, but one that you could put up there. Now, speaking of up there, up on the roof, this actually technically default has a 200-watt solar panel. However, they are currently basically building all of these with a additional 200-watt solar panel as part of an incentive kind of package. So not technically standard 400 watts of solar, but essentially standard 400 watts of solar. And it is prepped for, I think, a 2,000 watt inverter. So if you want to do some light duty off-grid camping, it is capable of handling all that. Notice that motion light right there, where that is really handy, is when you're getting down here in the evening and you're getting hooked up and doing the poop scoot boogie with your single sewer outlet. That gets the job done. A couple other little details. The underbelly of this, it is enclosed, it is forced air heated, and it does have holding tank heat pads that are 12 volt powered. So while they haven't actually cold chambered it and given it a hard temp rating, what I can tell you from experience based off brands that do, it's going to have to get and stay painfully cold for this thing to be a freezing problem. So a very respectable extended season package going on here. But there is no shortage of different builders making versions of floor plans like this. So I'm going to leave you a bunch of links in the video description. First of all, if you want to check pricing and availability on one of these, whether you're curious or whether you're serious, we'll have that right on our website for any unit that we have in stock. Actual individual pricing, not just estimated MSRP, but the real figure on that unit as it's sitting on our dealership. And we don't smoke hidden fees on top of that. That sticker is basically just plus taxes and tags. That's all you're really looking at. Anything else is totally up to you. Nothing else required. We don't have get ready fees or anything like that. The other thing I'll do is leave you a bunch of links. Anyone that I can think of, like Rockwood has a version of this. Ember has like 3 versions of this now. Heritage Glen Hemisphere has versions of this. A lot of builders have really good layouts like this. So I'm going to try to dig those out, leave you links to look at, and let me know in this video or any one of those which one you'd prefer to go with. And if you like how we're doing all that for you to help you cross-compare from the comfort of your couch or toilet, if you're watching this at work on a Monday, probably, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.